So the first stage for me is to try to lock in the fonts that you feel are the right fit for your brand. So you can see I explore quite a few of them. I try to place them on an artboard like this so I can compare like for like. And where you have similar fonts, these aren't very similar, but comparing them side by side can help you identify what you like about them, the unique factors that stand out. So this font at the bottom here, we've got part of the E actually separated with a little gap there. There's quite a wide contrast between the thick and thin portions of the serif letters. The O is actually slanted at a slight angle, and that's quite a nice sloping arm they've placed on the K there. So we won't dive too deep in this class to fonts and the kind of meaning they convey. I have other classes if you'd like to dive in a bit deeper to that. But explore some different fonts that you feel are fitting. And when you've got a small selection that you'd like to try, bring your sketch into Illustrator, as I've done here, and start to flesh out the different elements. Try to lock in what you're going to use. So I've begun with this main logo type for the word evoke. I will customize it, but for now I think that's absolutely fine. And then I found complementary fonts. So they're nothing alike, but they complement each other beautifully. I've used Futura here, and that really complements our main logo type nicely. And I've used that for both the top and the bottom portion of text, although I've used contrast in size to make sure you read brewery before you read the tagline, London's finest IPA. And then again, referring back to my sketch, and we can deviate off. You don't have to stick to the sketch as kind of a blueprint. It just gives you a good starting point in fleshing out these ideas. So I've explored a solid key line surrounding the logo, a dotted key line, and don't worry, in the next lesson, that's where I'm going to show you the techniques used to create these different elements. So we're going to look at best practice for placing type on a path and balancing that professionally. We'll look at your different options for these kind of key lines and created dotted or dashed lines if you like, along with a few other techniques you might find useful. So this lesson will provide you with an overview of what you're looking to accomplish, and then in the next lesson I'll share a few techniques with you. So now that I'm happy with my text, we then begin bringing in any other graphic elements. So it could be that a graphic element, a symbol, is actually the focus of your logo, and you have the text flowing around that, in which case you want to spend a bit longer on that portion of the design. But for me, these are smaller, almost decorative elements that just add to the flavor of a brand. So I've got a crown, and then I want some kind of barley stalk or hop that I can simplify and use as part of the artwork. So this version here, just to see if it works initially, I've actually image traced this from this reference picture. So again, that's a technique I'll share with you in the next lesson. And then at the bottom here, I've created a simple crown. I quite like the idea of doing something different, maybe having a split or a divide inside the crown. So maybe I'll come back to that idea. For now, I'm just going to use this solid version. So I'm quite happy with the way this is shaping up at this stage. So before we go any further through the process, let me stop and teach you some of the techniques I promised to share to create this professionally, which we'll do together in the next lesson.